Shall we go then?
Yes.
All right.
Try not to divert the topic to penises or bathrooms.
Okay, welcome to Excellent Foppery. There are only 2 people on the podcast this week. That's because we couldn't find anyone else on such short notice. But anyway, welcome to the Harry Potter podcast with me, Joshua Gray, and...
Bronwyn Latham?
What's up, Bronwyn?
Am I going to regret saying my surname?
Probably not.
Okay, that's cool.
So, Harry Potter. Do you want to talk about anything in particular from Harry Potter?
Harry Potter is everything.
Now, before we started this podcast, I showed Bronwyn my copy of Harry Potter and Mae'n Rathronydd, which is Harry Potter in Welsh. It's a really interesting book in the sense that it's all really weird because it's in Welsh. But what I really like is that in the thing where it says other things available in the Harry Potter series, it's got the Welsh titles for all the rest of the Harry Potter series, but they only ever translated Harry Potter into Welsh, the first book.
Oh.
So, would you like to know the other titles for the Harry Potter if they had translated them into Welsh?
Enlighten me.
So the first one, of course, you've got Harry Potter ar Mae'n Rathronydd, which is this one. Mm-hmm. We've also got Harry Potter ar Siambr Gyfrinachau, Harry Potter ar Carcharor o Azkaban.
Oh, Azkaban.
Harry Potter ar Fiol Fflamau. Harry Potter ac Urdd y Phoenix.
It's like they didn't even try.
Harry Potter ar Tywysog Hanner Gwaed. And Harry Potter ar... Harry Potter ar Tri Faith Marwol. I'm going to literally translate that for you in case you can't speak Welsh.
I can't.
Harry Potter and the 3 Deathly Things.
That's adorable.
The 3 Deathly Things? Really? That's the best you've got?
Like, at least with Spanish it makes sense, because the first one's called La Piedra Filosofal, which kind of works. And, like, I was reading it and it literally translates.
Yeah.
Like, I could quote something from Spanish and it goes, like, exactly into the English. Because when I'm reading the Spanish, I'll, like, have the English one on the side, like, just in case. Mm-hmm. I can't do it.
What's really interesting is the French one. I believe the French one, the first French book, is called something like Harry Potter à l'école de magie or something. Or l'école de sorcellerie.
Oh, yeah.
It's called Harry Potter and the Magic School. So dumb.
They obviously haven't read the books.
It's called Sorcerer's Stone in America.
I don't.
Speaking of America, have you listened to the podcast The Chapter Titles Were So Good?
No, I haven't.
You should subscribe to that. It's far better than my book podcast. And it's all about Harry Potter books.
Ooh.
And basically, week by week, they read a chapter of Harry Potter, and then they do they talk about that one chapter. They're on the 6th book now. They've been going for about 4 years.
Oh, cool! Like a marathon it then.
Yeah, you can. You can go on their website, tawusaga.com, I believe, which is the initials of it.
Catchy.
So, who's your favourite character from Harry Potter?
Oh wow!
Throwing you in the deep end.
It's literally, like, it's like if you're gonna ask me, like, what my favourite book is or what my favourite film is, like, that's easier, but with the characters, there's so many of them, and I've grown emotionally attached to so many of them.
I have an alternative question.
Oh, this might make my life easier.
What is your favourite minor character from Harry Potter?
Ooh. Oh, there's so many minor characters. Oh, no.
That can be a character that only appeared in one book. It can be a character that's in all the books but has almost next to no lines.
Would Hagrid count as a minor character?
I'd say he's a main character. I'd say Hagrid's a main character, arguably.
I guess so, but like Tonks is great, but then
yeah, I'd say Tonks is a minor character.
I'm annoyed that she wasn't like portrayed like the actress who portrayed Tonks was brilliant, but like the actual film representation of her.
Yeah.
No. I could complain about the films all day.
I'm quite a fan of Winky the House Elf.
Yes.
Winky the House Elf is an interesting character because of, it's very unsuspecting. I mean, the character's called Winky. And so we're back to dick jokes.
Don't start.
And yet Winky the House Elf holds such dark secrets.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. If you haven't read the books, fuck off and go read them.
Yeah, that's a
And
good
then
idea.
come back. Please.
Because Winky is another character that's not in the movies.
As with Peeves,
Teddy Lupin.
fucking Scorpius Malfoy.
Like, when he meets him for the epilogue.
Scorpius Malfoy. That's so dumb.
They tried.
It sounds like that's how. I think this was one of the chapter titles were so good, which was I think they thought it was something along the lines of Scorpius Malfoy sounds like a joke in the sense that it's like, oh yeah, what's Draco Malfoy's son called? It's Scorpius.
I think they just like shoved some random Latin words together and hope for the best when it comes to their names.
So, we've got to come up with another evil-sounding name for Malfoy's child. Let's call him Scorpius.
Wow, spooky.
Too spooky for you.
No.
I really like the if we're on the topic of Latin, and I really like the Hogwarts motto.
Never tickle a sleeping dragon.
Never tickle a sleeping dragon, which is wise words, I think. You know, one should never come between a dragon and his wrath, which is a quote from King Lear. Therefore, I've just revised.
Wow, well done.
Have you made any progress on your favourite proper character?
Well, the one I've always identified with, which is going to be so mainstream as unreal, is Hermione Granger, obviously.
Right.
But then, because like when I was growing up, I'm still essentially growing up now, but like in school, I was always referred to as like Hermione and things.
Yeah.
And it's like, because I had the phase with the afro hair. Like, not quite Josh level.
We all had that phase.
But, like, I used to do, like, the big hair. And then, because, like, I always work hard in lessons and things. And also I love reading.
You know,
I kind
God
of...
forbid you like reading and working hard in lessons. God forbid.
I know! Like... Why do people think it's okay to, like, take the mick out of people who actually want to do well?
Yeah.
The struggle.
I might have to say Snape, because he's just a one-man hilarious lines to say machine.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
What are you doing outside on such a beautiful day?
I think it's just the way Alan Rickman portrayed him with his voice.
But here's the thing, Alan Rickman was, I believe J.K. Rowling has said that when she was writing the Harry Potter books, when she was writing Snape, she was picturing Alan Rickman herself. So it's perfect casting, literally.
And also, he was the only one that knew, like, what happened, what was going to happen at the end. He was the only one who knew that he was going to die as such, because he needed all the context.
Yeah,
with,
so,
like, Lily
so
and
that
things.
he could play the role subtly. People might think you're...
My guitar is called Alan. Because...
to something. Potter. My guitar's called Keith.
my favourite is when you do Drunk Snape.
Harry Potter, Did you know when I was your age I wanted to have sex with your mum? No, Harry, come back. Look in my eyes. You have your mother's boobies. Potter. The very same green boobies. Potter. Do you ever think it's really weird that, like, do you know Ginny Weasley? She looks a lot like your mum, honestly, like I would. And do you think it's really weird that you're like shagging a girl that looks just like your mum? You not think that's weird? We once had a very heated discussion about Harry Potter, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
It was a very heated discussion, and we weren't disagreeing at all. It just sort of sprawled, and it's something we learn about in the fourth book, isn't it?
Yes.
And that thing is what Cedric Diggory can only describe as the prefect's bathroom.
Here we go.
Now, the prefect's bathroom is an interesting place for many reasons. One of the main reasons is prefect doesn't specify if it is a bathroom for male prefects or female prefects, which implies that the prefects have some weird sort of communal bathroom, which I'm fine, like unisex bathrooms are cool, but they also have a massive unisex bath in the middle of said bathroom, which this giant bath that, in theory, any prefect could just walk in on you having a bath.
And Quidditch captains.
Oh, and Quidditch captains. Yeah, don't forget fucking Quidditch captains can go in there as well and have a bath with all of their Quidditch friends.
So by the 6th book, Harry, Ron and Hermione can all have baths together.
They can.
Take your friendship to the next level.
Oh my god. This is fan fiction. This is
The question
just
is,
fan
which
fiction.
one's third wheeling?
Oh no. Why?
They could just take it like as if it's like a giant pool party or something.
Yeah, but do you really think... I mean, Harry didn't wear trunks when he went in there with Myrtle, did he?
I don't think he was expecting Myrtle
He
to
was not
suddenly
expecting Myrtle,
come
but
in.
literally any other prefect could have come in. Also, how the fuck did he get in the prefect's bathroom? Like,
Isn't it-
so is the prefect's bathroom just a bathroom that they say, no, only prefects are allowed in?
No, there's
no magic.
password.
There's no magic to keep them out.
What was the password?
Oh, is there a
Isn't
password?
it-
Oh, good.
I won. It's like crystallized pineapple or something.
Oh, yeah, I think I know what you mean. Like one of Dumbledore's dumb passwords where it's just a sweet.
Yeah. I think it was something to do with pineapples. Oh my god, I need to find this now. Hang on, what does Siri say? What is the password to the Hogwarts prefect's bathroom? Pine fresh, that's it. I knew it was
Pine
I knew it was something to do with pineapples.
But it's not, though, because by pine it means pine trees.
But there's the pine. There's the pine at the start.
Sure.
Like I did some last minute revision, like brushing up on my knowledge last night
Harry
on Quiz
Potter.
Up.
I've not read Harry Potter in a really long time.
I haven't either.
Because last year I promised myself I wouldn't reread any books, and then
Oh yeah.
I think the only Harry Potter book I read in 2013, I think I reread Half-Blood Prince. So I've not read the Harry Potter books in so long. I've also not read Ready Player One for over a year.
I read Ready Player One the other day.
Oh.
It's I fell in love with it all over again.
I think I've listened to it last year, though. I think I listened to it
But it's
when I
like,
did my papers.
but with the Harry Potter books, I have to like read them all at once.
Yeah, you
I
can't just
will-
read a Harry Potter book.
I will read like all 7 books in 7 days.
Yeah.
And then I'll just make like a big challenge out of it. But I've got
You've got to have days off, really, to read the Harry Potter books. Haven't
Yeah.
you? You've got to make sure you have the time to read them.
because I got a new set of Harry Potter books for
Yeah.
Christmas, which are absolutely beautiful. I think we were like researching Harry Potter books
We
when we
were.
had that prefect bathroom conversation.
We were.
And oh my god, they are wonderful. They're just
I
so
really
nice to
like
look
the
at.
new covers.
Which ones? The new children's ones?
Yeah, they're really pretty.
Yeah, they are.
Like, they're really, like, prettily illustrated.
They are really nice.
You can get them in hardback, too. Like, they're released in hardback and paperback,
Oh man, hardbacks.
which is really cool.
Hardbacks are my weakness.
I used to be like that. I mean, you can see I have quite a lot of hardbacks.
He does have a lot of hardbacks for the people who can't see his bookshelf.
But, like, I'm sort of falling away from hardbacks a bit, because I find it really hard to read hardbacks, because they're difficult to hold, because they're so large and unwieldy. And in that way, I prefer paperbacks, but I don't like cracking the spines of paperbacks.
Really?
So that's why I like hardbacks. I hate cracking spines. It's my pet peeve.
I've just like accepted the fact that I can't not crack a spine.
Yeah, no.
When I'm reading.
I can't do that. It's gonna be cracked. If it's already cracked, I'm fine.
Yeah.
But if it comes to me like pristine, I can't handle it if I'm the one that cracks the book.
Yeah.
It bothers me.
I feel like crack.
It never
books,
used to
like-
bother me, as you might be able to tell from my Harry Potter books that I handed you.
Yeah. I feel like it shows that you've like read them and like loved them as such. I feel like new books that look completely pristine, they look as if they've been like unread and unloved.
But I think it looks nicer on a shelf then, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
And ultimately, you know, what do you do once you finish the book? You put it back on the shelf and you admire it because it looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
That's
true.
why, but that's why I've bought a new copy of Ready Player One. And when I bought that new copy of Ready Player One, I specifically bought the American paperback of it. Because American paperbacks are far more flexible and less rigid than British paperbacks. And so you can open them wide without cracking the spine. Go pick up that copy of Ready Player One and see. Because you know what, you've got the UK version, haven't you?
I do.
It's next to the Perks of Being a Wallflower. It's on the second row by the Jonathan Coe. It's different, isn't it? Look,
It's really floppy.
Exactly. That's what I like about American paperbacks. You can open that wide, that will not crack.
Yeah, it's like I've got a Spanish book for A level, and that is incredibly floppy.
I like floppy books.
Maybe it's just a British thing.
It's just a British thing. I think from now on, I'm going to try to buy the American paperback editions of things because they're so much nicer.
Isn't it going to cost money delivery-wise, though?
Not really, because if I'm ordering from places like the Book Depository anyway, it's free delivery. Like, I ordered that from Wordery, and that's free delivery. I ordered my copy of The Martian by Andy Weir from the Book Depository because I was trying to find the American version. You know, it takes a bit more looking for it to try and find a seller that'll sell you the American paperback, but I think it's worth it.
Yeah.
I think in the end, it's sometimes slightly more expensive to buy the American one though.
I still feel like slightly bitter about the fact that my brother has all of the books in like first edition, and I'm not going to be able to get that unless I get like secondhand books now, probably.
Yeah.
And it's like because my brother like pretty much grew up with Harry Potter from the start, whereas I didn't really get into it until I was like 14, 15.
Yeah, same here. I'd never read... I was into Harry Potter. I loved the films, but I'd never read a Harry Potter book until like year 8, I think. And like, and I think it was the summer before the 6th Harry Potter film came out. It's when I thought, oh, I've got the 6th Harry Potter book because I bought that when it came out for some reason. I'll read it. So I read it before the film came out. And I was really confused. Did
you read the 6th one first?
The 6th one is the first Harry Potter book I've read.
You didn't read them in chronological order?
After that I did, yeah. I went back and I started with the first.
Like, I started reading them when I was like I think I was like 12 or 13 because my brother liked them.
Yeah.
He doesn't like it when I like things that he also likes. I'd like to think he's growing out of that now, but when we were little, if I like the same thing as him, oh, God forbid.
God forbid.
But then eventually he lent me the Harry Potter books, and I think I got to the 4th one, and because I was young and it was such a big book,
yeah,
it did put me off.
Yeah.
And then so I just completely abandoned it, and then a few years later I started again, and then I just completely devoured them. And it was wonderful. And it's weird though, because like even though I wasn't there from the beginning, I'd still say that I'm like one of the bigger fans as such.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Harry Potter. I love it. I love the extended thing. I've read fan fiction.
Haven't we all?
I've done what every Harry Potter fan has done, which is get to the part of Pottermore where they tell you what your house is and then abandoned it.
I went back on it the other day actually. And
really?
I was like, because it was when they released all the stuff about Umbridge.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I need to see this information. Like, I need to, like, be able to quote everything. And then I got to it, and I was like, oh, I'll just play again for a bit. But it's got to the point where when I first started, I was kind of just like whiz through, and now I've got to the stage where I'm like, when I'm playing a game or doing something, I've got to do it like I've got to collect every little thing before I can move on to the next bit. It's like in the Lego games, I've got to collect all the studs and get to like hero status before I can move on. And it's like, my brother hates that. He's just like, get through the levels. And I'm just like, no, we got to get to hero status.
No, what I do is complete all the levels first, then go back and do every level again to get it to like hero status and stuff like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. But I don't know.
Because that way, once you've finished the game, you've got all the unlocked characters and stuff.
I get bored though doing that. Like going through again though, because I've already done it.
Well, I often replay games because I never really had too many games. So I just finish it and replay it.
Yeah.
Though I didn't often complete games because I'm shit at video games. But like for a period of time, like the only video game I had on my computer was like Portal. So I played Portal literally like over 50 times. I've played through that game
Portal's
in its entirety. So that's it's a lot.
Me and Becca going through Lego Harry Potter, we're like, I think we're on like a really stupid percentage, like 99.8% complete.
Oh.
And it's like it's those tiny little things. Like I think we've completed all the stuff in the actual levels. It's just like the bonus bits now, and it's so annoying because I just want to see that triple digit figure staring at me, and it's like, no.
Yeah, I'd never played the Harry Potter Lego games.
They're pretty good. On New Year's Eve, every year we'd watch a Harry Potter film.
Yeah.
But because I wasn't really into them at the time, the only film I would actually watch was The Prisoner of Azkaban. Which I don't know why. I don't know whether it's because, like, Harry's hair is at his optimum puff level then, or, like, the fact that Voldemort isn't in is the only film where Voldemort isn't in it. And then...
That's true.
But... Because I was scared of the second one because Hermione got petrified, and Hermione was my life.
I used to think that I was going to marry Hermione. I was adamant. Not Emma Watson, Hermione.
Well, that's weird. Normally people are like want to marry Emma Watson.
Nah, well, I was 8.
No, that's true.
You know, and Hermione was one of those mature, older 12-year-olds.
Oh. And then she grows up to be like this omnipotent person. This
goddess.
Yeah, but the thing is then, when it comes to fan fictions, they kind of morph her into this, like, Mary Sue character, and then that makes me sad.
Yeah.
Because, like, even though she's, like, a brilliant person, she's intelligent, and she, like, she grows out of her, like, buck teeth.
Yeah, everything went downhill since she fixed her teeth in Harry Potter 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
Her parents were really pissed, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. Because they said
dentists.
Well, they said that you shouldn't use magic to modify your appearance, especially because they were dentists, so obviously they wouldn't want her to do anything to her teeth, which is true. You know what I want? I don't care if she never, like, continues with Harry Potter. I just want a Marauder series.
That would be fantastic.
That would be amazing.
Well, we are getting some Harry Potter prequels, sort of, aren't we?
That's true.
In the sense of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Yes.
We're getting that.
I'm looking forward to that.
Literally written by J.K. Rowling, which makes me so happy.
I am looking forward to that.
She's written films in the Harry Potter universe.
Yes.
It's interesting, though, because it'd be interesting to see what J.K. Rowling's script writing is like.
Yeah.
Because her writing style is really interesting in the sense that she sort of... It's very menial, and then every now and again she has to take, like, 2 pages to sort of dump information on us. Because she's... It gets a lot better, like, in the later books, where she can weave information into stuff. But especially in the earlier books, she just sort of, like... She takes a couple of pages and just dumps information about the wizarding world on you, and then moves on.
The thing is, though, it's such an intricate world. But it seems like... She's thought of everything. It's like if you look on her Twitter account, and people will tweet things to her, and like things like do you see the other day about if there's any people of different religions in Hogwarts, and then J.K. Rowling just goes, yeah, Anthony Goldstein was a Jew, and then everyone's like, what? And it's just like,
well, his name was Goldstein.
Yeah,
that's the most Jewish name. Is his middle name Shmuel? Like, so the prefect's bathroom.
I like how of all the things we could like drift back to, it's always like
the prefect's bathroom is an important thing, right? Because it's really creepy. Because it's not just any house can come in there, right? So basically, the prefect bathroom is the perfect place for Drowry fan fiction.
Yes.
Drowry bath-based fan fiction.
There is literally so much fan fiction based in that bathroom. Like, I'm not really one for MFics because normally they are written awfully, but
what about MPregs?
I don't know. That's just ridiculous. Like, can't people adopt? What is so bad about it?
The prefect's bathroom. I feel like a lot of sex happens there.
It probably does. Although sex in
it's weird though. Do you think sex happens in Hogwarts? I mean, it must.
Yeah.
I mean, they're teens. They're teens, and like the girls are allowed up to the boys' dormitories.
But the boys can't go up to the girls.
No.
Yes, feminism. But like, there's so many abandoned classrooms. It's like we were talking about that as well the other day about how there's probably not that many visiting students.
No, because if you think about it logically, how many people are in Gryffindor in Harry's year? There are like 8.
But there's let's see, there's
Harry, Ron, Hermione,
Neville, Dean, Seamus, Parvati, and Lavender.
That's 8. That's 8 students in their year. So that's 8 times 4. Let's say estimate for the rest of the houses.
32.
So that's each year has 32 students in it.
32 times 7.
224 students in the entirety of Hogwarts.
Wow.
That's how they can get away with only having one teacher for every subject.
Yeah, probably. But then the thing is...
Imagine how much free time half of these teachers have.
Oh yeah.
I bet the Muggle studies teacher, like, spends most of their time just sitting on their ass.
Yeah, exactly, because the things like Muggle studies and arithmancy, they're not even taken until the 3rd year, so they have even less people. But the thing is, there's only 28 pure blood families, and then there's half-bloods and Muggle-borns as well, but there's only 28 families, essentially.
Yeah. It seems really unlikely that all these things would happen to Harry Potter during his days, but when you take into consideration there are only 224 students in Hogwarts, you think, actually, chances are Harry could get it every time. It's quite good odds. It's crazy. It's not surprising that, in that case, that it seems like every wizarding couple that meets in Hogwarts, like, every wizarding couple, like, outside of Hogwarts we know of, met at Hogwarts, fell in love at Hogwarts, and then got married outside of Hogwarts.
Yeah.
Because, like, who else are they going to talk to? Muggles? Well, yeah, but...
yeah, that's true.
It's
but
like the Weasleys, the Potters, the Longbottoms.
But then a lot of Wisdom families...
Lupin and Sirius.
Well, like, a lot of Wisdom families probably do live in the Muggle world.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, unless you have, like, Malfoy Manor or something, you're probably living in a Muggle community.
Dad's a Muggle. Mam's a witch.
Bit of a nasty shock when they found out.
Do you like the films?
Yes and no, because, like, I mean, they're good. They're good as an adaptation, but then at the same time, it's like they miss so many things out. And I think because I've read the books in as many times as I have, I've noticed everything, and I think like other readers would know that. I think if you haven't read the books and you're just a film watcher, because like I know my dad likes the films, but he doesn't read, so he wouldn't read the books.
Oh, yeah.
And I think someone who just watches the films, I think they'd enjoy them. But I think because I've read the books, there's so many things that they haven't included that I've noticed. Things like the characters like Winky and Peeves and things like that, and just
Winky and Peeves. That sounds like a cartoon duo of like one of those really like insulting like adult cartoons designed to look like a kid's cartoon.
Well, let's face it, like Peeves just antagonizes people all the time, and Winky has an alcohol problem. It makes sense.
There's nothing like a fucking house elf with a drinking problem. Nothing quite like it.
I like how it's relatable.
Yeah, as the kids our age, it's relatable. I see where Winky's coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I feel like before I'd read any of the books, I loved the films. I thought they were great. And then, like, after, like, reading, I read the 6th book, and, you know, and then I went to go to the 6th film, and I was like, this film was nothing like the book. The book was so much better. And then I thought, oh my god, the rest of the books must be better than the film.
Yeah.
So I went back and read them. But, like, the first time I read the book, I was so confused. Because I'd only seen the films, there's loads of things in the 6th book that you would not know about if you'd only seen the films up until that point. Like, this is embarrassing. I didn't know that, you know, Ron's house was called the Burrow. I was really confused when the Burrow came up. So I literally, when reading it, pictured a fucking hole in the ground.
It could make sense though, because like you could like go through the hole and then there'd be like an intricate like cave system.
Yeah, no, that'd be cool. I think that'd be wicked. But yeah, I literally pictured a burrow. I didn't picture Ron's higgledy-piggledy house.
At least when I started reading the books, I knew things like Dumbledore was going to die and things like that, because obviously
Spoilers.
Oh well, you should have read it by now. It's been out long enough. Like, it's been out since like 1997. You know,
1998 if you're an American.
That's true, but you know, it came out in Britain first.
But yeah, Harry Potter's the same age as like us.
Yeah.
Like Harry Potter's 18.
It is.
or 17. No. When was it published?
June. It's like the end. It's like the end of June. It's like 21st or something.
So it's still 17. It can almost drink.
I'm 6 months older than Harry Potter.
Did you pronounce Horcrux correctly when you read Harry Potter 6? Because I didn't.
How did you pronounce it?
I read it as Horrocks.
Horrocks.
I know.
Can you read?
I was so confused.
I mean, the one that I've always been confused about is like Accio. Because
it's not standardized, is it?
me and my brother have always read it as Accio, and then it came to like the audiobooks, because we've got all of them by the wonderful Stephen Fry.
Stephen Fry.
And then in the movies they say Accio, and then I was just like, what is this word?
It's not standard, because in the 4th Harry Potter game, right? Mm-hmm. Do you know what Harry shouts? Accio.
I'm pretty sure we had the 4th game, actually.
The 4th game is the one
why...
where you can run away from the dragon, or like on the broom. There's like a chase sequence.
We had
cool.
we had like the 4th game, and we had the Chamber of Secrets. Because I remember, like, a couple of years ago, my brother got back into it, and he was always annoyed with, like, the prefects bit, and, like, you're supposed to, like, navigate your way through the library, and the prefects are there, and then they keep just, like, catching you all the time.
I think, like, the start of the 4th game is a lot more similar to the book than the film is. You spend, like, a lot of time, like, wandering around the forest and stuff. Yeah. Though you don't find Winky, I suppose. Peeves is in the games, isn't he? Well, he's in, like, the first game, isn't he?
He's in the first game, because I remember there's, we had it was called the Sorcerer's Stone. We had it on computer, and you had to like jump across these boxes, and then Peeves would suddenly turn up and obviously like stop you. And that at that level was so annoying. It was the literal bane of my life. And it was like you had to like press certain buttons on the keyboard to make like spells. And I remember there was one of the important ones was like Flipendo.
Fucking Flipendo.
It's like...
That's not mentioned anywhere in the books or the films. And then but Flipendo, for some fucking reason, is in that book.
Where did that even come from? It's like, maybe because like they didn't really feel the need to flip objects. I don't know.
Flipendo!
It's like...
Fucking Flipendo. It's the first... And aren't you taught that by, like... You're taught it by Professor Quirrell, aren't you?
Yes.
And, like,
the thing is, though, surely it'd be a charm, not Defense Against the Dark Arts.
Yeah, it feels like a charm, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's like Wingardium Leviosa as well. It's like...
That's a charm.
Swish and flick. It's like when I read, when I was reading the Spanish book, I got to... Like, the point I've got to is where Harry's just, like, he's just arrived at Hogwarts.
Yeah.
And I'm halfway through the book. And I've just realised that half the book is just Harry discovering he's a wizard and going shopping with Hagrid.
And that's like the first 20 minutes of the film.
It sounds like a teenage girl novel.
Let's go shopping. Oh my god.
Get losers are going shopping.
Have you seen my owl? It's like so white.
If you're an owl, then why are you white?
It matches my frappuccino.
Oh, God.
Do you think there's a Starbucks on Diagon Alley?
Well, they have Florian Fortescue's ice cream parlour.
Magic Starbucks. Harry Potter. That was an attempt at a podcast about Harry Potter, and I really hope you enjoy. You can subscribe to Excellent Foppery on iTunes. You can also visit excellentfoppery.com, can't you, Bronwyn?
Yes, you can. You could. Yeah, I subscribed on iTunes last night. I am a role model to you all.
Thank you very much for that. You can find us on iTunes by typing in Excellent Foppery, or you can go to excellentfoppery.com and listen into the episodes there. And you can also go to the contact form.
Also, if you subscribe on iTunes, you can listen to it and do other things, and you can still hear it. It's
incredible how podcasts work.
I'm still fascinated by that. You know, you can procrastinate while procrastinating.
I have literally hundreds of episodes of podcasts on my iPod. Literally hundreds.
I just have Excellent Foppery.
Because
that's all I need.
You should subscribe to the chapter titles. Were so good, because you'd love it.
I will.
It's really good, and I keep saying this because I'd love to be on your show. The chapter titles were so good.
Desperate!
I would love to be on Titawasaka. It's a great show. Anyway, goodbye. Thank you for listening. My name has been Joshua Gray.
My name is Bronwyn.
And I hope you enjoyed. We'll be back next week with more shit. The last word of my podcast should not be shit.